All right, welcome to this special episode of the Matcave, and today we are installing the M.2 internal SSD expansion that has arrived today, and we're going to pop the cover off of the PS5 so that we can expose the SSD slot. And let's see how we go. So according to Sony's site and the instructions, if you position yourself like this, where you're stabilizing the PS5 on this end here near the disk drive, you can lift up the cover here and slide it off. They make it look really easy on the tutorial. It actually takes a little bit of effort, so be very careful. I've already pre-loosened it, so let's make sure that we can pop it, and here we go. All right, so the lid is off. It's actually a little dusty. I'll wipe that out in a little bit. I'm going to put that aside, and I see the expansion slot here already. Before I go further, I'm just going to take a quick look here at the fan. Not too bad. There's not a whole lot of dust in there at all. So I am going to go ahead and use a screwdriver here to take the slot cover off. All right. And we don't want to lose that screw. We'll put it right over here. Take the cover off. All right, so I'm just going to tilt this forward. You can see the open slot there. All right, so there is going to be a spacer inside, and we're going to go ahead and open up the SSD. And this one that I purchased should already have the heatsink attached to it, because you want to make sure that you get one with the heatsink available. And there it is. This is way, way smaller than I was expecting. This thing's pretty tiny. When you watch the videos on Sony's site, it looks a lot bigger. It's actually got a decent amount of weight to it though. And it looks like it's gonna fit in there really nice. So let's make sure that we get our spacer out of here. There we go. A very, very tiny screw. And here is the spacer. So I'm just going to kneel down here for a second, and I want to take a look at the positioning of where to place this drive in, because according to the tutorial on Sony's website, you want to put this in at somewhat of an angle, and then bring it down and attach the spacer and lock it down with the screw. So I'm going to find here, it's actually a little difficult to see, to be honest. In the tutorial video they have on Sony's site, everything is really close up, and when doing this in person, it's quite small. So I'm going to give it my best shot here. This is a terabyte SSD that we are adding into here. So let's bring it in this way on an angle. Oh, that didn't feel right. There we go. That felt a lot better. But maybe not as well as I thought. Okay, I see the fixture now. There we go. I had it right that first time. So we're going to go into a slight angle, press it gently into place, bring it down. We are going to put the spacer in place, which I forgot to do. There we go. And we're going to take the wrapper off of the hard drive. Look at all these steps that I'm forgetting. Let me check the bottom end of it, make sure there's no plastic. There is not. Okay, and we need that small screw. And we are going to lock this in place. Okay, that looks to be in there nicely, because we do want to make sure that we put the cover back on here. That is key, but that fits in this slot very nicely. Now, something to keep in mind is that Sony recommends certain types of these drives. The size specifications are very specific, so if you're looking to get one of these expansion drives, make sure that it is the correct physical size. And we're going to put the lid back on here. Okay. That feels nice and secure. So the next thing we're going to do is put our cover back on. And it should, once we line this up, snap back into place. As long as we line it up properly. Here we go. That's on secure. Back in action. That's the bottom end of the PS5. Let's just flip it back around. And that is the PS5 upright. Okay, the next step is to hook this up and see how it does. It should format the drive for us. Okay, the next step is going to be firing up the PS5 to make sure that it reads the new hard drive. And we got the projector coming up here. Let's turn on the PS5. Give that a moment to come up. There we go, we got the PlayStation logo. And to use your M.2 SSD, you need to format it. When you format your M.2 SSD, all data on it will be deleted. That's fine, we don't have anything on it yet. If you want to continue using your PS5 without formatting the M.2 SSD, turn off your PS5 and then remove the SSD that you just installed. Well, we're not going to do that. So we are going to format the M.2 SSD. And that is going very quickly. There we go. The read speed of your M.2 SSD is as follows. If you experience problems while playing a game installed on the M.2, try installing it on the console storage. So let's hit OK. Your M.2 has been formatted. To change where your games are installed, go to Settings, Storage, Installation Location. To safely remove your M.2, turn off the PS5 first. Well, we won't be removing it, but we're going to hit OK, and we're going to make sure that after it rebuilds the database, which it did very quickly, we get to the user interface. And I see the storage icon at the very top, which is a good sign. Here we go. All right, we're greeted by a very angry-looking cat. And we're going to take a look at our settings page to make sure that it is still seeing all of our storage, because I also have an external hard drive where the PS4 games go. We're going to go into settings. We'll go down to storage. Here it is. The list is already longer than it was before because I see the M.2 now. Here's our console storage, which right now I only have 29.19 gigabytes left on it at the moment. Here's the M.2, and that has 1 terabyte of free space, which is fantastic. And then I have the USB extended storage, which still has a bunch of space on it for my PS4 games. And now I'm actually seeing an installation location option here. This showed up after the most recent update that the PS5 did. So overall, everything appears to have worked properly. I will be working on moving some games over to the M.2 storage to make sure that everything plays properly on it and that the speeds and everything are there. But so far, this looks like this was a successful installation of the M.2 SSD storage into the PlayStation 5. And the tutorial I went by was on Sony's site itself. So if you're looking to get one of these expansions for your PS5, I highly recommend watching the short tutorial video that Sony provided themselves. Thank you so much for joining me down in the Matcave, and I'll see you guys next time.